Welcome back to episode 2 of Another One Off the Shelf podcast. Here again is Rich and Dan to talk about our next movie that we selected from our respective shelves, which was Bone Sickness, 2004, directed by Brian Paulen, was recently released on the Saturn's Core label, which I'm a huge fan of. And I was gonna challenge you. I know it sounds like I'm bragging, but how many Saturn's Core do you have?
So I remember last episode you sort your shit by label and then movie. I sort all my movies by alphabetical for whatever reason. So it's a terrible system, but I think I have from the beginning to like maybe I don't know. What is that one? So like maybe about Hung Jury. Do you remember Hung Jury? That was like a year ago. I think I have Rot, which was like a little bit after that. But like anything around that and earlier, I don't really have. So I think I have a good amount.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, hold on.
I'm probably missing like 10.
Hold on. Hung Jury is number 23.
Yeah.
Rot is number 44 in their number order system. So, but I mean, to your point, yeah, and for everyone watching this, I'm as you can tell, both of us obsessive collectors of all things and movies especially. So when a label like Saturn's Core comes out, which if you're not familiar, it's like one of my favorites that has ever come to be because it's mostly shot on video, just really, really wide range of the most cool underground stuff that you never ever in your life would have dreamed would have a real release, like a Blu-ray release with features, with a sweet cover, slip cover, everything. So it was, probably one of my top 3 labels of all the things I collect. But to your point, they started pretty small, where they put out that documentary. I think the Wave documentary was first.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very slow and metered, where it was like, okay, one new release every month or every couple months, and now it's like I cannot keep up with the speed of it, and so they've surpassed my funds to keep on track. And I missed like again, this is kind of like an obsessive collector's mindset. I have all the slipcovers, and the people that buy these things that are just like us, obsessive. If you don't act fast, those slipcovers go really quick. I think they're about 1,000, right? Like the limited release,
which is horrible.
And that can be a day sometimes. Like a single day, those 1,000 will disappear from the minute on the first of the month when they release a new title. So Bone Sickness is one of 2 from the, like I said, I think I probably have the first 35, 40 totally with slipcovers, every single one of them. And Bone Sickness, and then there's one other one that I just didn't get. And so that irks me like no other. It's like the biggest OCD pain when I look at my shelf and it's like slip, not.
What's the other one that you don't have slip for?
It's a random one. There's a couple I see.
Because Flesh Freaks, I think it was. Bone Sickness. There's a few more that, it's very heartbreaking to not have the slips for them.
This was the first one.
Yeah.
Which is the Tortured Soul trilogy, which is still shrink wrapped. I've not watched it. That was number 25. So I guess that was the first bump in the road in the slip perfection. And then these are also 2 recently purchased, but Severe Injuries, I didn't get the slip, and the David Nelson Volume 1, I didn't get.
Nice.
But I have 46. I just counted, so that's. I don't know what their final number is up to now, but yeah,
for sure.
So, Saturn's Core, amazing label. Check it out. Bone Sickness is the one we watched, and I had this one too before Saturn's Core put it out.
Dope.
So this is the Unearthed Films version on DVD, which came out in 2006. The movie came out in 2004, so this was the release of the movie back then. And yeah, I should have put this on because I remember we said that last time with The Rage, where the DVDs had because this one would have the best title screen,
I bet,
for any DVD for all the things that they put into this movie. It's beyond epic. So first thoughts. Had you seen this before? You watched it?
No, hadn't seen it. The only other Brian Pauling I'd seen was Cryptic Plasm, and that was like this year.
Okay. That was a recent one. The most recent. Or no, Septic, I think, is the most recent.
Away by everything in that movie, and I didn't really know the order of things of when he directed it. So when I popped this in, I was, definitely not disappointed, but like, he hadn't reached the heights that he reached in Cryptic Plasm. Like, he clearly has a handle on the special effects. But so this was the first time for me. It was still pretty fantastic first time.
Yeah, I had seen it before when I had the DVD, but I had not rewatched it in quite a while because I think I probably got that DVD 5-6 years ago. I didn't get it when it came out. It was a late pickup. But it is, it's very like Lucio Fulci with all the worms and the endless buckets of gore that are pouring out of every orifice possible. So I caught a lot of that influence everywhere. But this is like one of the most ambitious movies for a low budget director I've ever seen in my life, because I mean, spoilers, there's going to be lots of spoilers from now on, but it's got zombies, goblins, it's
total chaos with like cars flipping around,
right? Like action stunts, and some of them
SWAT teams,
freaking dangerous. And that's you mentioned the special features. There is one that I noticed that was like the stunts that hurt.
Yeah,
and that I just watched it, and so those jumping over cars and blowing up old Oldsmobiles in some parking lot. It's like, hell yeah, man! That's the way to do it. But,
so I watched a fair amount of these special features, and a few things that surprised me. It was a budget of less than $5,000, which is insane. Took them a year and a half to film it, which is pretty. That feels pretty admirable for what they pulled off. Took them a few months to edit it, and then when they got licensed by Unearthed, they added like 15 minutes more of gore or whatever.
Oh, really?
Which was then, so like on the special features, there's like a demo copy, which is the first release of it in 2004, and then that Unearthed one is the one you have, which has like 15 minutes more. And then, so the crazy shit that was going on at the end was just a location that they both worked at, Rich George and Brian Pauling. It was just a parking lot that they worked at, so they must have had like a super chill boss that was like just down with fucking blowing up shit, and I feel like they got super lucky with like not getting cops called on them, and like the autopsy, which that autopsy scene where they're where he's pulling like the ribs out out of them.
That made me laugh so hard because they look like barbecue ribs from the restaurant.
They were. They definitely were. But yeah, that location was the same spot where they worked. It was just like a perfect storage unit that looked like an autopsy. So
okay,
they got like super lucky with shit looking kind of authentic, I guess.
it looked legit.
But yeah, so I don't know. It was super dope to see. Super inspiring for me, at least in terms of if I would have saw this a year ago, this would have been like the movie that I would have tried to emulate for sure. But yeah, it was fucking sick, I think.
Yeah, I was scrutinizing it more on this watch, knowing we were going to talk about it. So I mean, there's always that, because in the past when I watched it, it was just like, endless gore movie. Like, the director Todd Sheets. He's another one that's very similar to this, where it's like he's so super low budget. He's really prolific, lots of movies. And they just have that exact kind of same regional feel, like to your point, some parking lot, basements, people's houses,
right?
Like your movie has that same exact kind of motif feel of where you are and the situations you're in.
Totally.
And so it's just super cool to watch a movie like that, and like I did in the past, where it was just like, oh, cool, gore, blood, goo. I wasn't really focusing on the story or anything. And there's a very thin thread of story. It's not like it's a Oscar.
Oh yeah, that was another piece that I listened to about 20 minutes of the commentary.
Oh really?
Brian said they had 22 pages of scripts, and then he just got bored of writing, so they just fucking winged it after that. So that kind of
that tracks for how it turned out from a story perspective. But but yeah, it's like I said, it's like they had such an ambition, which is admirable to say, because it is a very, starts in a small place and then, explodes into like the end of the world, like completely from one little tiny thread to this crazy turn of events. And as I was watching it, this recent time, didn't make much sense. I mean, honestly, it's like, what the hell's happening? So I'm going to try to explain how I think it went. So again, talking about the plot points of this film. So if you haven't seen it, you're going to hear about it. So there's this guy who's sick with a terminal disease. He has a super hot wife with the biggest boobs possible, that the minute they're on screen, I was like, yep, those are coming out. I know they're coming out.
Wait, so that's in the first 5 minutes of their commentary. They said that was a deliberate ploy to make people think that, and that it completely worked on you.
There's no way they would have cast someone with that kind of a build if it wasn't going to be undressed at one point. So, so the sick guy with some, you don't really know. It's just some terrible, painful, probably bone cancer or something like that, with the bone sickness title is my guess. And she's trying to help him, and she has this friend who, played by Brian Pollin, who works in a morgue as a mortician, I would guess, or maybe he's a graveyard. It's all very unclear, the details of what these people are doing or what, capacity they're working in. But apparently somebody thought it was a good idea to take pieces of dead people, dead bones, dead bone marrow, I think is part of it, and grind it up, give it to the wife of the sick guy, and feed it to the sick guy. Right? Am I getting it?
That tracks.
Yeah. And so this is not a great idea, obviously, and I don't know how anyone would have thought it would have been a good idea for rotting dead flesh and bone to be ingested by anybody. But it apparently helps somehow. And he starts to kind of recover a little bit. And then things start turning worse, and he starts vomiting and shitting worms and blood and dead, corpse things. So it's like he's becoming undead from the inside out. And then this is where it flips to complete crazy town for me. Is because that on its own, that's a movie and it's in and of itself. That could have been Bone Sickness, and it would have been, a very intimate kind of, they could have done more of like that love triangle with the Brian character, Thomas, I think his name was, and then the sick guy, and then the wife, and the Thomas guy has a wife too. And so there was a little of that, and I'm guessing that was probably their 20-page script, is my guess.
Yeah,
if I was going to extrapolate from what you just said, and that would have been a tight little movie that started in a good place. Sick guy, somebody wants to help him, turns out bad. Everybody, But then, like that point I just left off, he's now been eating and drinking these pieces of dead people, and now he's turning into kind of an undead thing. That somehow angers the dead, and they all start waking up and coming out of the graves like a zombie apocalypse to seek revenge for his cannibalism of their bones and things like that.
Sure.
And if that wasn't enough craziness, there's goblins too. And the goblins are seemingly like overlords of the dead in this graveyard forest, whatever we're in. And they also take major offense because the goblins are the ones that are supposed to be eating the bones, and he's stealing the goblins' food for this. So that's really it. And then at the end, I think the goblins just say, "Fuck it, let them all come up to eat the humans because we're sick of this shit." And then that's the zombie apocalypse. So do you think that's it?
That feels it. That definitely feels it. But there was moments where I was super lost, because even in your description, they cut back to the sick guy, George, as being the guy who was grave robbing in the beginning. Do you remember that? Like he had the mask.
Was that him, or was it Brian? Was the Brian guy?
Well, Brian was also there, but Rich, like,
yeah.
In some like exposition, he explains that like I was the one in the beginning that took the mask off and killed the 2 police officers, and I was like, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I
do remember that scene, but yeah, that doesn't fit into my totally. Version of the story very well. But
and I don't know if it has anything to do with anything, but there was a scene where the hot blondie gets replaced by a different actor. Did you notice that?
No.
Like there was a scene where Brian is then giving like IV material and other stuff to another woman who is blonde, and I have a theory that was like they were going to try to replace that actor to some degree, because then they immediately kill that character off because they didn't introduce her at all. Like she was supposed to be the blonde. I don't know, but
that is like, strange. I do remember that, and again, that was kind of at the point where, I mean, it wasn't where like I checked out and I stopped paying attention to all the crazy, impossible to follow plot points. But yeah, I guess I kind of just dispelled it like it was a friend that was picking it up for her. But you're right, they were pretty identical, blonde and clothing wise. So
yeah,
that's it. Probably to your point. I mean, you know this, being a filmmaker, and you only have actors on set for a day, and then you're like, shit, we need this filler connector scene, and you don't have that actress that day, so let's get
I heard the only reason Brian is in it at all was because they couldn't find anyone who was reliable enough to be there as much as they needed them to be there. So he was, I don't know, I think it was in one of his interviews that, so many people call off, so many people have a funeral, and then another funeral, and then another funeral, and they're just like, So he's like, fuck it, I'll just be in the movie. So that's pretty interesting. That's almost exactly what happened to me.
Yeah, I can imagine. And he's not bad. I mean, I think he is in some of his other movies too, because I know his face. I've seen him a
Yeah.
number of times in the
Distinct
other
face.
films, and yeah, he does a really good job of playing that, the fill-in director as a
For sure.
character thing. So like you do too. Um, funny thing we did last week, which I want to continue this trend every time, is you gave The Rage a funny name, which was 28 Days Lamer, and still amazing. So, do you have one for this? I have one that I thought of.
Completely didn't think of it this time. You go.
The bones are their money.
Hell yes.
I had lots of Tim Robinson in my head when this was going on, because
so many bones,
especially the end where they were like, I mean, they had like bone weapons, and it was like
yeah,
friggin' bonies, and they were stabbing the guy with the bones at the end, and I was just like, this is totally it.
For sure.
The Day of the Skeletons came to life.
That was amazing. Yeah, I feel like that, spoiler alert, was my favorite death of the whole thing. I think it's the guy who's sick the whole time.
Yeah.
Then has a conversation with the goblins, and the goblins are stabbing him with like other dead bodies, like spine into his spine.
Right.
And then he's like crawling with two other spines on his back, and I was like, that's some top notch shit. That's probably what they added at the end.
Yeah, right. That was a good wraparound, like full circle coming, pulling it all together.
For sure.
I mean, this movie is the gore. I mean, that is, I think, what Brian Pollin, he was brought on Earth to do gore, and he's a freaking master at it. Like, I mean, seriously, one of the best. I bet if you gave him all the money that, like KMB and the big groups get, like, and I think that's what he does with what's the new one, Abysmal Purgatory.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because he's been working on that for a while, but he's so meticulous, and like I just couldn't believe, because you said I saw 3,000, 5,000 budget, so it was somewhere in there, and like your film, when you make something over a year and a half, it's like, who knows how much fucking money we spent on this
for
thing.
Sure, totally.
But it's so endless, like, especially to what you kind of said, like that extra bonus 15 minutes of gore, but like it's like the midline of the movie, it's pretty here and there, little bits, but then it's just like nothing but pouring out of nasty stuff, and like splitting heads, and munching on guts. It's just like more than, it could fill 5 other movies with that amount of gore. So it's, sure. I mean, if you like gore, this is one of the all-time, masterful attempts at doing it in so many different ways. And yeah, I mean, he's got a real knack for that, like the full body kind of rigs that he does.
Sure.
And I don't know if you've seen his Instagram where he's testing those out. Like I think for Septic, I saw some of that when he was making Septic, where it's like he's got it like hanging in a garage, like this big like corpse that's been splayed open like a chicken, and then he's got all the pumps that go in here and there. It's just like goo, squirt, different paint to make the, black and red and brown colors. And so it's just like, it's just so inspiring to see someone go to that degree of,
for sure,
creativity, and because.
And it's interesting to see when we compare it to the first movie we did, the type of artisticness to the actual special effects. Like, they're two huge special effects dudes, but they both look super different type,
Right.
Like,
yeah, that's very true.
Like you said, the casting of the silicone necks, and and this is like early in Pollin's career, but yeah, he's got a super good knack for like dirty, like all the skeletons look so worn, and like
I love the skeletons.
And his blood is super like juicy, like red, like weird, like almost watery red, and and I would love to get like a masterclass from him, because because of like all the skin, and we already mentioned it. It was hilarious to see the cooked ribs ripped out of the corpse that were like straight up from Texas Roadhouse or something. But yeah, he's and I can only imagine because this is the second movie I've seen of his. How many have you seen of his? Have you seen later
I've
ones?
seen a lot. Yeah, I mean, and that was something I wanted to talk about. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was his sixth movie. I don't know if there's one on here from '96 called "Kill Me Slowly," and it doesn't have a picture. It doesn't have a rating. So that I don't know if that's like a made but not released. I've never heard of that one.
Right.
Every other one I've heard of. So yeah, he started in '94. I have not seen Reap of Evil. That's the first one that came out.
So 94 to what, 2004?
Right.
He was already in the game for like quite a bit, and I guess that shows how good he is at that point.
Yeah, I wonder how old he is. IMDb doesn't say, but I mean, because he doesn't seem like he's a very old guy in this movie. He seems like he's a 20-year-old
for sure,
really. So yeah, I was gonna, again, not to brag, but
you have the others. Show them.
This is my Brian Collins stack.
Beauty.
So he is one of the many directors on this one. This is Symbolicus Volume 2. So this was like 12 different directors with shorts. So he's one of those. I can't remember it really. And then this one, Dead Girl on Film, is a 2-part SRS release, which is quite good. This is the other Saturn's Core at Dawn to Sleep.
Heck yeah.
He did. This one we showed last week when we were talking about Misty, and he directed Mummy Raider. Fetus is a really good one by Massacre. Right. And then these are the ones released by his Morbid Visions label. So this is Cryptic Plasm, Septic, and Morbid Tales. Gotcha. So yeah, I've got most of all of them. I'd say Blood Pigs is the main one I don't own.
For sure. Septic and the other.
That's a cool Septic. Where'd you get the Blu-ray from? Is that from him?
At Dawn They Sleep. This came from I don't know, but it was a little label that he was partnering with. I only noticed it because he references it on his Instagram from now on, I guess. So I don't know if the one you have is out of print or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, I got the DVD straight from him, I think, on Instagram or his site back when he was, showing them off on Instagram. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Blood Pigs is very good too. I think I have that one on Plex. So I think that one is a hard to get one if I remember correctly. I think it was an unearthed one or something that you can't find very easily.
And like you said earlier, do they, to your knowledge, up the ante with finances? Like, is he working with a $2 million budget?
I don't think so. Right. No, this is all self-made for the most part, I think. So it would be really, I think Mummy Raider probably, not a big budget, but it had more than just him because he was just hired to do the directing, and it wasn't his script or anything.
Gotcha.
But he did the effects too. Because in Mummy Raider, if you've ever seen it, there's a lot of like action, and he does really good action. Like,
he does.
Guns, like he's really good with guns, looking with the flashbang, and
for sure
that looks like it's not Hollywood, but it passes really strongly as like, yep, this feels real to me. It's a real gunfight, and
for sure he was working with like 28 Days Later, cams and SWAT teams in small spaces. It really, he did well with the action for sure.
Yeah, I'd say he's a very well-rounded individual, and again, this is 2004, so I bet he's learned a whole bunch more things since then in his latest work. I don't. I'm trying. These are all. I love the titles. They're all the titles seem to like drip and ooze the goo that is inside. So yeah, Cryptic. I remember Cryptic Plaza because of all the rigs that he was kind of showing. Septic, I'm not sure if I've even watched it.
No, we can't do it next, but it's definitely on my list to do.
So, but that's the problem with having so many movies, and especially, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of one director. It blurs together a little bit, where you don't know what happened in which one. So, I would say that's definitely true for this. But yeah, phenomenal movie. Definitely worthy of a Saturn's Core release.
For sure, it's perfect for Saturn's Core in terms of, like you said earlier, Saturn's Core has a knack for picking like a regional title that then gets your collector brain like going like, I need to find all these regional, like there's so many different types of Wisconsin, like
this is New York, I'm guessing, from the accents.
Right.
Blonde chick had a real hard, or New Jersey. You can
definitely tell from their accents that it's. I think it was Rehoboth, Massachusetts.
Oh, was it?
Which is close to New York, I believe. But yeah, fun fact. I don't know if you noticed. One other thing I noticed, or I saw on the special features. There's a scene in the movie when a girl is in the pool and she gets chased by the first zombie. Do you remember that?
Yep.
That scene was lifted from an abandoned project of theirs called Eat the Dead, which was like 2 or 3 years earlier, and it was like a script that they abandoned, and they just shoehorned it in there as like a, hey, it's another zombie moment, and I feel like it pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, I mean,
works.
Other than you didn't know that character at all,
yeah.
Kind of a quick like, oh, I guess it's just a neighbor
that. Yeah. And the Australian nosy neighbor, do you remember?
Oh, that was amazing.
I don't know who that is in relation to the filmmakers, but she was gold.
That was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, they should have added more of her.
The dialogue was so, I mean, terrible, but hilarious with that scene in particular, where it was just like, you could tell they were reading it verbatim. They weren't like feeling out, is this a way people usually talk to each other?
Totally. Right.
It's like, pleasant to see you, Mrs. Whoever. It's like, nobody fucking talks like that ever. It's so silly. But
yeah.
And then the Australian lady kept like, your husband, had a mom visiting. It was just like,
the things that are should be in her head, she's saying out loud, and that's
while she's sprinkling the yard. I was just like, this is so fucking funny. I mean, that's the funny thing, though, like, with your movie that you're working on, the impetus of a director in the context of this, low budget, you do whatever you want. Nobody's dictating to you what you're supposed to do. And to put those little hilarious nuggets in, like, because you said that to me when I was commenting on the like over killing of a character, like a 15-minute death scene. It's like, on one hand, we want to show off more gore and we don't want to like get it over too fast, and the other one is like, when does this start becoming funny? Like,
yeah, totally.
and like the ribs, like that was an obvious, we just have to sneak this in as like
totally.
Everyone that gets it is going to fall on the floor laughing, and there seemed to be a bunch like that, and it's I guess it's just hard to know where they all are, because you're not sure, is this just incompetence?
Yeah, totally.
And I mean no disrespect to Brian Pollin in that regard, but you know what I mean, where it's just like, we forgot, we didn't like, the continuity didn't track, we forgot that we said this, and then we said, that is what I mean by incompetence, like just, oops, we didn't connect all the dots, but there were just so many other things in this that I found funny, and I would find myself laughing at, thinking and knowing that these were probably on purpose to be.
Yeah, totally.
Little relief.
And there's a part of the behind the scenes when they're pulling out the cooked ribs. They're all giggling their asses off. So I mean, you can tell it's fun that they're just fucking around.
So good.
I love that. But there's also I love the reference to Necro Junkie. Do you remember that?
No, I didn't.
I guess that's just, I don't know if that's like part of the lore, but
okay.
They kept mentioning it in like the special features that might have been part of the script that they kept like trying to shoehorn in.
Oh, really?
Like, I think that's what the Bone Sickness guy ends up becoming, is a Necro Junkie.
Got it. Oh, like he needs more bones to keep.
Needs more bones. Going. But yeah, and so I vaguely am familiar with Ruby. You know who that is? The actor Ruby LaRocca or whatever.
Yeah, I love her.
What else is she in?
She was one of the with Misty Monday. That whole crew. She came from that same. What the hell were they called? Independent something or no? The Factory 2000, I think, was their first name. Where they were.
That's like Mummy Raiders type deal.
I think Mummy Raiders after that. Let me grab one of the old ones.
Because you could tell she was a down ass actor, because there was that. Again, I'm spouting off all the behind the scenes, but where she was getting basically ripped in half, and they had to build the set where, that classic half the body is visible, half the body is underneath a sort of a wood structure. And it looked like it was sort of painstakingly taking forever, and she's like just on the phone talking to people where she's going to be next, and it looked insane.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any of the Factory. So EI, Independent Cinema Studios, is one of the various names of the Misty Monday band of gypsies that made a lot of crazy sexy movies.
Which is pretty different from the Wave crew, right? Or the
Yeah, not the same.
Right.
But I mean, similar idea. I mean, I think the idea was what was his name? I can't think of his name. Hold on again. Sorry, too many movies. William Hellfire. Nice.
Oh, I just had to do that. William Hellfire, for sure.
Yeah, so he was the founder, one of the founders of the whole Factory 2000, whatever it was called. And they were trying to do like the Andy Warhol Factory. That's
for sure.
Where it was like a bunch of like, ragtag, degenerate random actors that, had no money, and they were making up shit as they went along. So they tried to do a similar thing in the, early 2000s, late 90s.
Did you say Andy Warhol? I felt like kind of John Waters as well,
I think, same kind of idea where it's like people. You had the same crew of people, and then you just kind of said, we're going to make a movie about this, and then film it, put it out. So the Factory 2000, Ruby was one of those, and so was like Darian. What's her name? She's in this one. Darian Kane.
Right.
Another one of those. And yeah, I have a bunch with Ruby in, and she is one of the ones like Misty that really stands out. Like really pretty, can act quite well, and there's a few movies where she's a primary actress, like not just a bit part, like in this one.
Yeah.
And she's really great. I don't think she's doing too well though.
Oh,
I don't think a lot of people from that group are. There was another Indian chick. I forget her name. It was something Khan or something. I think she died like a few years ago.
damn.
And Ruby, I think, was in really bad shape. Like she was like GoFundMe asking for money like years ago. So I was trying to like make a connection online, but she wasn't like responding to anything on Instagram or Facebook. So yeah, so I hope she's doing well. I hope she's doing better than what I heard last. But yeah, the movies she's in are pretty fantastic. Yeah, I thought she looked familiar. I didn't even really put the dots together because I didn't watch the credits. But
for sure, I knew of her, but I don't think I've seen anything substantial from her.
Yeah, I'll give you a list of my top 3 that I have because she's definitely one I was wanting to see more of.
For sure. But yeah, I feel like this is totally going to appeal to a certain type of horror person. But yeah, I don't know. I'm giving my mission statement nearing the end here, where you can't compare this type of movie to many others other than like $3,000 budget movies, which I'm sure there's tons of them. So I guess you can compare it to a fair amount of the Saturn's core ones, but I don't know, when a movie gives you or me so much inspiration to like, and even other people who like don't do, it's just creative ass filmmaking, and people who don't have a lot of money just making the things that they love. I feel like on my Letterboxd I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, I would give it a solid 4 as well. So and Todd, like I said, Todd Sheets is the clearest comparable, like prolific gore specialist, backyard horror, making it with anything you can find in your garage. And it's just so fun to see people, chasing a dream that is
for sure
unlike anything that anybody else would dream. And it's gooey and the messiest. I think it's creative gore is kind of the genre that this one is, where it's like, because you can just shoot people in the head. Like that was kind of like Rage. I mean, The Rage that we watched last week, it had some creature designs, which seemed to be that guy's thing. And a lot of it was CGI, which doesn't feel authentic to me in that creative sense. It's
right.
You have a loose idea and you plug it into a machine and then it spits out something that looks kind of crappy. But this stuff in these kind of movies like Bone Sickness, it's like somebody had to. I mean, for one, it doesn't feel repetitive. Like it feels like each head splitting open like a watermelon had different colors or different splatters or squirts and
for sure.
So that's what I mean. Like he must have a meticulous list of, head rig number 1 of 20, and this one does totally. This, and this one does that, and this one does something a little different. Right. This one splits with an axe. This one splits with something heavy, and it's like that. That's a whole different level of creativity and realizing it, because I think most people can dream to that degree, but they don't have the patience and meticulousness to actually make each thing a little bit different to like make it like this like endless buffet of goo.
And the storage space. I would love to see his basement. Because like, what do you like? I can't even figure out where you can get like model skeletons and shit. And his skeletons look so fucking
rad. They look real. I mean, and that was so what I was saying earlier. Like I mean, I would imagine he has more than one like full body skeleton, or else he'd be doing so much like double, triple work. But but the layering of the, you know, the muscles and the, you know, the connective tissue, and it's like so
viscera,
so precise that it looks like it's, you know, a real thing. And no, I saw some good. I'm trying to find where there was. I just looked up like a bunch of random like people's comments about this movie. And they were quite hilarious. So I don't know where these came from necessarily. This was just kind of a general sourcing, but it said this movie spent 95% of its budget on blood tubes. I was like, yep,
for sure. The squirts, the garage door that goes down onto the zombie's head, and you get that little brain matter. That was so fantastic.
Another one was
this is our second movie that has children getting killed, which is what it is. What it is.
Which children got killed in this one?
There's a scene. Well, I mean, there's a scene in that hallway where that lady gets a baby ripped out of her belly.
Oh, right.
Which is
unborn child.
And the zombies are just like shaking it, and it's like, goddamn. Yeah,
dude. It goes full zombie apocalypse at the end. Now I'm going to read you a few more of these because they're hilarious. It feels like Lucio Fulci directing a backyard wrestling tape.
Totally.
Every scene escalates like they forgot restraint existed.
Yeah, I don't even know. Did we even talk about the worms yet? Because
I was texting you about the worms because they legit made me feel sick to my stomach, and I usually don't. It was the first one when the sick Rich George guy character was throwing them up because they legit had mouths full of worms, like many scenes, and then later in the movie when he like spits them out on to basically turn Brian Paulin's character into, I guess, a cool Marilyn Manson contact zombie with the white.
Oh yeah, a necro junkie.
Yeah, and then but he spit worms from his mouth into the mouth of someone else, and you had you had to hold them in your mouth for at least 5-10 seconds to get the shot. Sure. So I was just like, you guys committed yourself.
Dedication right there. Little squirrely worms going down your throat. Fuck that.
No, it was. I can't imagine the mess, the cleanup for this kind of a movie. Like,
for sure.
I mean, if it's all in your own basement, but even so, like just pouring buckets of fake blood, and you know, it's always like corn syrup and sweet sticky stuff that.
And I don't know how much you noticed, but the graveyard with all the nice hazy green lights, was all indoors. Was all. I mean, I don't know if I would have noticed that, but I watched the feature that shows them building it, and I was like, that is the way to go. I mean, it seems like way more hard work, but no downtime because you have access to it at all times, and they did a fucking awesome job. I guess Rich George was a pretty handy dude, so he built the whole thing, which is rad.
Yeah, I noticed that in his other movies, so I think that. I mean, well, I don't think it was the exact same graveyard, but the same concept of. I mean, that's the only way you can get the perfect lighting and the that just that weird misty, foggy kind of thing going. You can't do that very easily at a real location, so that's the smart way to do it.
Sweating my ass off now.
Yeah, so big fan of this.
Huge success, Brian Paulin.
And the nudity was appreciated. I knew it was coming from the big giant things that she had in her
for
shirt.
Sure.
And,
which that was like, she was like, so it was kind of a love triangle, like you said. So she was kind of hankering for Thomas, meanwhile taking care of her sick husband, which was just a shoehorn to get some titties in the screen, I think.
Yeah, it was. And I'm always a little grossed out when a do-it-yourself director casts. I mean, nothing in this movie grossed me out in this respect, but I thought it could go in that direction where the love triangle was definitely edging that way, where it's like, I'm the director, I get to write the big tit person to fall and put her tits all over my face, because that just seems like, unless it absolutely has to work, like otherwise it seems like, of course you're going to write that scene.
For sure. Which there's plenty of movies that have that.
That don't have the restraint and that just say, right. And then it's like, okay, I guess she got paid for that, so it's not.
Right. Yeah, I would like to know what she got paid. That would be.
Yeah, I mean, she was pretty. I mean, the accent was kind of like when she would get like angry or something, it would really come out. Like, it was just like, that's how you really talk. And
do your best Massachusetts accent.
I can't do that one at all. But it only comes out at like the end of the words when they have kind of an attitude with something. When they talk in normal quiet tones, it's pretty Midwestern sounding. But yeah, I'm gonna look up one other thing because I'm pretty sure Brian is in almost all of his movies. So
yeah, it seems like it. I mean, like I said, it's got to be tough to find reliable people, so that's the way you got to do it.
Yeah, so he was Jimmy in Dead Girl on Film. I think I remember from that. Steven in At Dawn They Sleep. Henchman in Mummy Raider. Thomas in Bone Sickness. Kevin in Fetus. Yeah, so he's pretty much in every single one. This one I think was one of the bigger ones though, where he was throughout the whole movie and one of the central characters.
Are you looking at IMDb when you look that up? Yeah.
So yeah, keep doing what you're doing, Brian. We love it. Yeah, when is the Abysmal Purgatory? Feels like he's been working on that for a long time.
Don't know.
It's listed as filming on IMDb.
But from what little I've seen on Instagram, it looks like he's got kind of a, that movie Tetsuo, where it's it's like weird mechanicals mixed with human gore, and it's like he has an entire garage filled with like tubes of viscera and shit. I was like,
that sounds cool. I mean, that sounds like a different thing for him then.
Yeah,
the mechanical aspect, because this is all very organic goo and gore for most of this stuff. All right, cool. Anything else, Bone Sickness, before we decide our next movie?
I don't know. I feel like I don't have much else to say other than I wish I had the slipcover. I wish I had the DVD. And
you can.
Saturn's Core is fucking rad. That's all else I got.
I'm gonna reverse my thing because I like this insert better.
Oh yeah, I know it. Oh yeah, that's
this one.
I mean, those guys that were just coming through, and I think it's on your DVD cover. That specific zombie was so good, like, opening his mouth and like the little facial, for sure.
Yeah. No, I think I've always. I think it's when zombies are in suits. I don't know why I like it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it goes back to like Night of the Living Dead, the remake. I think that was one of the first ones where it was like they come right out from their funeral garb that they had on when they were buried, and it's just like. But when and these are kind of. This guy. You probably can't see it too well.
Yeah.
This guy has a very tattered looking suit, and he's got like cobweb hair, which is like so amazing looking. Because I know they didn't mean it to be hair, but it looks completely like old man
for sure
in wispy hair. But this guy in the back, he's got like a brand new suit on. And he's fucking super rotten. There's no way that suit would still be in any shape to still be on him. And so it's like those funny details. I think it just is a, juxtaposition of like fucking ancient rotten corpse and crisp new suit with a shirt that seems like it's been pressed recently.
For sure. And like, what did we have access to? What did we go to the thrift store to find?
Which exactly.
Did we have time to tatter up?
But I think it adds. I don't know what it is. It's my own weird brain that just like, because if they're just full on rotting flesh, that's kind of like okay, but this adds a different. I guess it's more of the connection to being human at one point is how it is, and that's Night of the Living Dead is very much that vibe. These are not monsters; they were people. And I know I'm getting philosophical in zombie movie lore, but to me, when I see the two faces of it, dead thing but human clothes, then it's like it's I don't know, it's a deeper connection or a deeper fear that comes from that look. So yeah, these were epic. They didn't look. I mean, to compare, I mean they must all be big masks and head gear that are put on people. But like to the point we said with the rage that every layer they got bigger, fatter heads. These don't look like that. These look like maybe it was all makeup then to make it not have that like extra puffiness on the face, because the eye sockets look super like deep and tight. The teeth,
for sure.
Teeth are like a commonly terrible thing in movies where it's a masked teeth outside of your real mouth teeth, and then so when you do something and you see through the little gap, you can see tongue or something, and that always like I know it's not the end of the world, but it takes you out of it for a little microsecond. The suspension of disbelief kind of is like, I see a pink tongue behind that gray flesh,
for sure.
But these looked like 100% legit, really old, just the best kind of graveyard dwelling zombies you could conjure up. So really top kudos for that.
And I think this was in a time when zombies were starting to get fast and runny. And I think there's just something a little more creepy about the ones that can't run, I think.
Right. I mean,
they're both super creepy, but like, yeah, the creep up on you and always turn around and there's one right there. That's
right. You just need two of them to grab you from either side and you're fucked. That's all it seems to take. I did think the policemen in this movie were like really screaming, like big screamers of like freak out. Like it was just like they've got like the biggest like M16 automatic weapons, and it's like as soon as they got caught or grabbed, they're like and they were like freaking out the fuck out. And I thought they were hamming it up a little bit.
That would be me. If I was a SWAT guy, that would be me for sure.
Yeah. All right. So that concludes Bone Sickness. Let's pick our next one for next week. Do you have any inklings?
Yeah, I actually stupidly didn't even think about it. Do you have either of the All Haunts box sets?
I have the first one.
So my contender would be something from there.
Okay.
But if you have a veto or other suggestions, I'm game.
That's a perfectly good one, because I have barely scratched the surface of that box. Yeah, and I have recently been killing the Severin boxes like 100%. So that would be one to get into.
So
the one I'll tell you what I was hankering for.
Hit me.
Is one of the Hammer horrors that Synapse put out. There's Hands of the Ripper, Countess Dracula, Twins of Evil, I think a couple other ones. Do you have any of those?
Shit. I don't know. I have a bunch of Hammer shit.
Yeah, we can talk for the one after the next one, but because I've been, as you know, into the Gothic with all these Danza Macabre sets from Severin. I've been watching
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm always down for Gothic. I just can't really find.
Yeah, that's why you got to put them by label.
I know.
That does break down very quickly if you don't remember what label put the movie out.
For sure. Twins. No. I don't know.
Vampire Circus. I think that was the other one I have. I have 4 of them.
So you said Twins of Evil. What was the other one?
Countess Dracula, Hands of the Ripper, I think. Well, let me see if I got the title.
For sure, I got Countess Dracula right here. I'm so down.
Okay, I don't remember that one, so let's earmark that one.
In love with Ingrid Pitt, so
yeah, you can never go wrong with her. Yeah, what I like to do, because I love to live in my little movie store, is I peruse the shelves. I'll just walk by, and then I just pull something out an inch that catches my eye. So I've got like maybe 10 things that have been eked out a little bit, and those are like, so the hammers are eked out a little bit, and so that's why.
You're really teasing us by not letting us see those shelves.
I know. We're gonna get.
Give us a little peek. Oh fuck! Holy shit!
Yeah, I'll have to rotate this somehow so I can have it behind me, but it would be weird to have something in my window here. All right, so let me grab that box. Okay, so All the Haunts BRs, a compendium of folk horror, is where we'll be selecting next week's. So one thing okay, this one does do it, because some of these just piss me off, where it's like, I just want the full list of every movie, not every special feature, and like this disc has that, and this disc has this. I just like want the straight. Like I always find this on Amazon. Amazon cannot tell me what fucking movies are on this box,
For sure,
and I have to like parse through a big paragraph to like see what movies are even in this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, how many are on this? 19 movies. I have seen Eyes of Fire, V, which I love a lot.
V's awesome.
Allison's Birthday, I think I've seen. Dark Waters, El Demonio. Tilbury is fucked up. Have you ever seen that one?
I have not seen Tilbury.
It's like it's not even, it's like Icelandic, I think, and it's like this little goblin that like steals milk or something.
I might. He's got yogurt. Like a little pointy nose.
Yeah, it's so fucked up. Like to think that was an actual like story they told.
I mean, yeah. If I was a kid watching that would have fucked me.
Yeah, I would have stopped doing whatever that was supposed to scare me away from. I will not take milk or whatever I'm not supposed to do. All right, you pick. That's not one of those I just said.
I mean, have you seen A Field in England?
No, I've heard a lot about it. That's a recent one, right? Fairly recent.
That movie is really interesting. My picks were either Dark Waters, Clear Cut, or A Field in England.
You haven't seen the other two?
I vaguely remember seeing Dark Waters, but I could definitely see it again. I have not seen Clear Cut, and I very much enjoy Field in England.
Yeah, let's do Clear Cut then. I want to get one that we both don't know.
Sounds good.
Witch Hammer is a really good title, though. I'm interested in what Witch Hammer is.
I'm down with that as well, because I have not seen that.
No, Clear Cut. I'll go with your gut pick. That's what you got to do with these big bad boy 19 disc ones. Is you just gotta throw a dart on the board and go where it goes.
For sure. and it's got that guy. I like that guy, whoever that guy is.
All right.
You know,
the Indian guy.
Yeah. All right, so that might be a total stinker, but we'll see.
I don't think Severin rarely does us wrong with these boxes. Like I've been absolutely. I loved all the Danza Macabras 1 through 3. I just ordered 4. Comes on Monday. Because I devoured those all, like just one after another in each set every night. I was like, yes, please, yes, please, yes, please.
Yeah, all for good. Sure.
And then I've been really, really enjoying this new one, the Exorcismo.
Oh, right.
It's really cool stuff. And this is where I really like, clap my hands to Severin, where because sometimes people do box sets and they just throw everything in. It's like kitchen sink of, well, we had this already, we got these 2 in, and then let's kind of make this like a non-connected set. But this one, the Exorcismo, is, like it says, defying a dictator, raising hell in post-Franco Spain. So Franco was the dictator in Spain that, after World War II really, screwed over the Spanish and, did lots of nasty, dictator things. Very high censorship, very, have to do what the state tells you. And so when he died, there was this flourishing of movies that were like, gory and sexy and just subversive against the regime and all this stuff. So it's a weird mix because it's not all horror.
Yeah.
But it's stuff that's like the one I watched the other night, The Priest. I'm like still like traumatized. And the one before that, the night before, Battered Flesh, the ending, I'm still fucked up. Like, so they really stick with you. Like, but they're not horror. They're just kind of really intense dramas with like scenes that you cannot believe.
And so, like fuck you to the system type deal.
Yeah. But like all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, I can't recommend these boxes enough. And yeah, I feel bad because I have the Al Adamson one. I barely watched that. The Andy Milligan one, I barely watched that. The Emmanuel one, I've probably watched 6 of those. But again, there's so many in each of these that it's like a lifetime of movies in your Severin box.
These are 2 recent purchases that.
Wow, those look good. What is
that? I'm excited for Grapes of Death and The Living Dead Girl.
Oh yeah, I haven't got those. God damn it.
I don't have a 4K player, but I collect 4K nonetheless.
Well, I've been telling you my woes with my sound system, right? I know people aren't really interested in that, but the Bose sound system came out before 4K, and so it seems to struggle with the bit rate and all the stuff that gets communicated to via HDMI between a player and a TV. And so I told you I've been having like this occasional pixelation in certain movies, and it's because this thing is not ready for that enormousness of quality and pixels and things that are coming through. And so I'm learning a lot as I'm like troubleshooting this crap, like because the menus themselves have a different rate or
I bet
amount of data versus when the film starts, and it's interesting as I've been navigating how to make it stop. It seems to be I have to like turn on one system 100%, let it fully load, then turn the Blu-ray player on so that it receives a signal when this thing is fully ready.
I bet.
And then it seems to be okay. If I like turn them both on at the same time, that's where it's like I think the signals don't get sent and received right, and then I get this breakdown of the picture. So
I ordered my Kunaki.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I threw my movie onto a Kunaki, and
shit.
It's on its way to me now. I just don't know if it's gonna look any good because your mentioning of the menus jogged my memory because when I was looking at like a sample copy that they let you look at,
yeah,
it looks like downgrades it even more than I already downgraded it. So I don't know if it's. We'll see if it comes out. But
send me the link. I'll buy one.
Say that again.
Send me the link. I'll buy one.
Oh, for sure. Well, let me see if it's good enough because it's so easy to like remake them and just to at least host them. But
it'll be a collector's edition.
Yeah, for the demo version for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Seriously, let me do it. I mean, I'll order it just for the sake of seeing how the process comes, what it looks like. I mean, you'll see the same thing, but
yeah.
But yeah, that's sick. Good job.
For sure.
I gotta get my Instagram going again then to start blasting the advertisements.
Yeah,
for that one. Did you make a trailer yet?
No, I'll do it. It won't take long.
Well, introduce your movie. We haven't fully introduced it. Do it here before we leave.
I made a movie. It was originally called Night of the Nymphs. It is now called Night of the Blood Curse. I'm just in the process of basically getting a physical copy. Not a lot of people have seen it. It's just a same exact sort of story as like a Brian Paulen situation where, I see horror movies and I just wanted to make one. So, there's a huge amount of process that goes into it. And, I can't wait to show it to people. I'm just now getting, the final bits ready to have like a physical copy. I did upload it to Letterboxd.
Nice.
But I think it's too new to have any sort of reviews. I don't know how they limit things like that because like I made an announcement like, hey, this is my movie, and the reviews don't even show up on it yet. So
okay.
I don't know how that works, but yeah.
I'll take a look.
See you soon, I guess.
Yeah, it's an epic movie. The version I've seen, at least, was impressive and exciting and super cool. So I'm super excited for this to come out and more people to see it. Get a trailer cut. That's, I think, your fast track to getting a YouTube channel, an Instagram account, and then people cross sharing it to kind of get people to go to your Kunaki and start buying it. I mean, work out the kinks, make sure it is the best version. You don't want to release something that you're not happy with, but
for sure,
a step in the right direction. So keep it going. All right, cool. So Clear Cut will be our next adventure next week, and we will see you all there.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, everybody.